Hi everyone. I want to talk about how the food has been here since I've been in Ecuador. Yeah, bottom line, my stomach has been fucked up pretty much like since I got here. Which I think is really interesting because everything is also like really fresh. Um, the we get the produce from really close by. It's all grown fairly locally. Um, so I think it's very interesting that I've been having so many stomach issues since I've gotten here. Um, usually, so my host family feeds me breakfast and dinner, and then I'm at school for lunch, so I'll make my own stuff for lunch. Usually every couple weeks, my friends and I will go do like a little grocery run so that we can get groceries for our lunches, and then we'll make lunches for as long as the groceries last, really. And so usually the foods that I make for lunch are pretty good on my stomach. But yeah, so one thing that I think is a big factor in how my stomach is here is the fact that I'm not really having a lot of probiotics. I used to make sourdough all the time when I was home. I would eat sourdough all of the time. So there was like a lot of probiotics from there. I'd make like sourdough pancakes and stuff. I was having a lot of sourdough, which is fermented foods, which is probiotics, which is good for gut health. And I was having a lot of that when I was home. Now that I'm here, I'm not making sourdough right now. And I won't be for another 2 months-ish. They don't really have vegan yogurt or anything. Not that I had a lot of it, but I had enough to where it was probably still benefiting me. I would have kombucha every once in a while. Like, I know for a while, I think when I left, I had like a whole bottle of kombucha that I would just like take swigs of every once in a while. And I was like, that sounds good. Like, sounds like a tasty little drink. I would just, it's my fluffy socks from last night. But yeah, I would have kombucha every once in a while as well. So I was having a lot of probiotics, and I think that was really good for my gut because my gut is simply hating everything here, and I really wish it wasn't. I really wish it'd just chill out. And yeah. Another thing that I just realized, like right before I made this video, was that I haven't had sweet things for breakfast in such a long time. Like, I never crave sweet for breakfast. Every once in a while, I'll maybe like try to make crepes, or I'll try to make a pancake, but I really don't crave sweet things in the morning. I want something savory for breakfast, like savory and warm. And here, the easiest things for my host family to make me for breakfast are sweet, because it's things like fresh fruit, or my host mom will make me pancakes with either bananas or apples a lot, and they're really, really good. But I also think there is something to be said for what your body is craving. Like, if your body is lacking something, then at least for me, like when my body is lacking something, my body will crave that. This happened with the probiotics a few weeks ago, actually. I tried kimchi before I left, didn't really like it. I got here, I wanted kimchi. I wanted kimchi so bad, and I ended up kind of making some. It's kimchi-esque. It's fermented cabbage and vegetables. Like, it's the probiotics that my body was craving, but I think I was craving the kimchi because my body needed those probiotics. So I think there's something to be said for that. Usually my body craves something savory in the morning, not something sweet. But here I'm having something sweet. I'm having fresh fruit, I'm having a pancake, I'm having oats, I'm having things like that, which I normally wouldn't be when I was at home. And honestly, like, the food that I was having at home wasn't always like even as healthy for me as the food that I'm eating here, but still, it's not what I'm craving. And I think that might be a reason that my stomach is not totally agreeing with everything I'm eating, because I'm not listening to my cravings, because I don't really have much control over what I'm eating from day to day. Same thing with dinner. Oftentimes I'm not even all that hungry for dinner because my stomach feels gross, so I don't want to eat anything. But I do anyways because it'd be rude not to. And yeah, I mean, the dinner switches up every time, but oftentimes it's something kind of weird. like a few days ago, my host mom made me cabbage and carrots and peas mixed with a cream sauce, and it was good. But it was never something that I would have put together myself. It was very interesting, I guess. And so I think also because of that, because it's something that my body is not like, oh, like this is a combination we've never had before. That I think because of that, it is digesting differently. I also think there is something to be said for like how your food digests when you like it, like when it tastes really good to you. Because at home I like only eat things that I like, because why would I make things that I don't like? But here I'm just eating what they give me, and I don't want to be rude, so even if I don't love it, I'll still try to eat as much of it as I can, because I like they're opening their home to me, they're making me this food. Like, I don't want to be rude, and plus like I need food. So yeah, I think those are two of the reasons that I think my stomach has been absolutely messed up for the entire time that I've been here. And I know that it's not just me. I know that my other friends here have experienced their stomach issues as well. So that also makes me curious. I think something else, one other thing, is that because there's a lot of fresh produce, it's washed with water that is not clean. Like the tap water here, you can't drink it. Like you can shower in it, you can brush your teeth in it, just like not swallow it or anything. If you drink it, you will get sick. And so that might be a reason. Like my stomach might not be used to having the very small amount of water that might be in the fresh produce, like when it's cleaned. So that might be another thing as well, because my host family doesn't have any issues with it. I tried explaining to my host dad the other day. I kind of had to argue with him. I was like, yeah, like since I've been here, my stomach has just kind of been messed up. Like, I don't know exactly why, but I think it's just that the food here is different. And he was like, no, because everyone else here is fine. And I was like, yeah, because you're used to the food. And he was like, like, so yeah, that might be another reason, like if the water is being used to wash it and it's not like fully clean, I guess. But yeah, that is how my stomach has been doing. However, speaking of food, I miss cooking so badly. I have 2 different lists made of things that I am going to cook. One is like meals that I want to cook with my boyfriend in the summer, and the other one are things that I'm going to like batch make when I'm back at school. Like I really want to batch make kimchi, because this kimchi is not the best, honestly. Like it's kind of mushy and gross, but if I put it in a soup, it is damn good. So I definitely want to try making kimchi again and make it better with ingredients that are actually more authentic and not just like whatever I am scrambling to find in Ecuador. I really want to make dumplings. I have been craving dumplings so badly. I finally got my dumpling fix a few days ago. I made and froze some dumplings and then brought them to the school to make for lunches, and I shared them with my friends, and we all enjoyed some dumplings, and it was so yummy. But those were really good, and I definitely want to make them again because I love dumplings. I am a dumpling whore. I love dumplings. I want to try making sourdough bagels. Duh, I'm gonna make sourdough bread when I go back to school. But yeah, I have lots of plans for cooking when I get back, but I still have like 2 more months of not being able to cook really. But the fact that I am able to cook lunches at the school is saving me right now, because I simply love to cook, and that's the only time I can. I was really missing my stir fries the first couple weeks, but now I have pasta and soy sauce and sriracha and things at the school, so I can now make stir fries. I was enjoying making ramen as well, like making like a little stir fry-esque thing out of ramen. That's been really good. The soy sauce here is weird though. It's sweet. I think it might be more like dark soy sauce. I don't know if you guys have seen dark soy sauce, but it's a bit thicker and it's sweeter, almost like a soy glaze, like how like you have like balsamic vinegar and then like balsamic glaze, where it's like a reduction. I think it's like a soy sauce reduction, because it's a lot sweeter, it's a lot thicker, and I have only seen regular soy sauce once here, but I'm not gonna buy it because it's like a giant bottle and I already have this other soy sauce and it's really good. It just like, when I was first using it, I was like, what? Yeah, that's something interesting. I am moving soon. I am moving to San Clemente. Currently I'm in Quito, and in San Clemente I'm going to be doing research about medicinal plants. I'm going to be staying with a new host family. It's about 1.5 to 2 hours north of Quito. I'm really excited for that. This is actually, today is Monday and this is my last full week here. Next week I have spring break, and then which I'm going to the Galapagos for. So I'm not gonna actually be in Quito, so this is my last week here. And then in San Clemente, I don't know what kind of access I will have to cooking my meals and things. I don't know how the daily structure is going to look like either, because it's not going to be school anymore. I'm gonna be doing research probably like 5 hours a weekday, then I'll have the weekends off. But it's also, okay, this place is so beautiful and I cannot wait to be there. I just want to lay in the grass. I want to be surrounded by nature. I did visit there as one of the class field trips and it was so beautiful, and I'm so excited to be there. But also on the weekend, I don't know what I'm going to do because none of my other friends are going to be there. And yeah, not that I really do anything on the weekends here anyways. Like, yeah, I don't do anything on the weekends here. Like, I'll maybe like go to a little museum or something with my friends, but most weekends I just kind of chill. And I'll still be able to do that there in a more pretty place without dogs barking. I don't know if you can hear the dogs barking every once in a while, but they be barking all the time. But yeah, I brought that up just to say I don't know if I'm going to be able to cook my own food there because it's more rural there. I don't know what kind of foods they'll have available. So I'm a little nervous for that, because if there's one thing about me, I just need good food. I need good vegan food, but honestly, I would rather have good food that is still vegetarian, but not completely vegan, than have bad vegan food, because it's such a big part of my mental state to have good food and to be eating good food regularly. So if I don't have that, it's very difficult for me. So I'm really hoping that everything works out. I'm hoping that I can express like, hey, like I really like things like this. I don't love soup here. I like soup. I don't love the soup here. There have been 2 times when they've told me that it's vegan. I believe them. I believe them that it's vegan, but it tastes like chicken, and I don't know why, and I do not like it. And so I feel bad because they're like, we made you the soup. It's vegan. Like, we made it especially vegan for you. And I'm like, I'm sorry, it tastes like chicken. I don't know what to tell you. But yeah, I'm hoping that I'll avoid things like that, because also when I don't like the food, I feel so bad telling them because they made it especially for me, because it's like they made it especially vegan. But sometimes I just don't like it because they also don't know how to cook vegan food because it's not common. This past weekend I went on an overnight trip, and the hotel that we stayed at fed me possibly the worst vegan food I've ever had in my entire life. It probably was. They gave me a soup that tasted like chicken. Everyone else got potato soup, which had like cream and stuff, but a lot of potatoes. Mine had like 2 potatoes, and it had like 3 little pieces of carrot, and it had a lot of this thing called chochos, and which is like a beanie grain type thing, which is like fine. And then it had like a bunch of like greens in it, like wilted greens, and it tastes like chicken. And I was like, I don't like this, but also like, why couldn't you just give me, like, why couldn't you fill me up on those potatoes like you did everyone else? Like, even potatoes and carrots. I love potatoes and carrots. So why am I getting all this random stuff that I don't want? Just because I'm vegan doesn't mean I can't have potatoes. Potatoes are vegan. I really miss potatoes here. They don't cook them all that often, and if they do, it's not just like a roasted potato. How I would kill for a roasted potato. Oh man. But yeah, so I had that. That was like the starter. It's pretty common to have like soup as like a starter, and then you have your next like your like whole meal. And then like the entree dish, everyone else got lasagna. Instead of giving me, so they also tried to give me lasagna. Instead of pasta though, which is normally vegan, here I would bet you it is vegan. I've had a lot of pasta here that is vegan. I would be shocked if their lasagna noodles weren't vegan. Instead, they gave me potatoes, which I like potatoes. It was like a veggie lasagna. It was like just like all layered vegetables. But first of all, this burned my mouth. It burned my mouth like on that side, so none of the rest of food I could really taste, which was probably for the better. It had a lot of oregano, which that's like the only spice that they cook with here, and I am just so sick of it. Like, I get a whiff of oregano and I want to throw up. I know this is so picky of me, but I'm a picky vegan for a reason. there's a reason that the title is picky vegan, okay? So it burned my mouth, and the potatoes sliced super thin because they were like replicating the pasta. They weren't even cooked all the way. Tell me how you do that. Tell me how you make something so hot that it burns my mouth after I blow on it and it's still not cooked. What? I was absolutely livid. I could have cried that night because I was so hungry and tired and I wanted good food and I did not get it. Everyone else for dessert, they got a peach with whipped cream. I just got a peach. And I liked that. I was like, okay, yeah, peach. Peach for dinner, peach for dessert. The next morning at the hotel, they gave everyone else pancakes. I was like, I'm not gonna get a pancake. I did. I was like, oh, how fancy. Like, let me try it. It was the worst pancake I've ever had in my entire life. I feel like it's gonna sound like I'm exaggerating, but I absolutely promise you that I'm not. It tasted like sludge that you would like give to a pig. Like, it tasted like flour, water, a little bit of sugar, and that was it. And they cooked it on the outside, but it was completely raw on the inside. Like, I peeled off the top like cooked part and ate it because I was hungry. Like, I needed sustenance for the day, and then I was scraping out the uncooked inside part, and the professor next to me, she was looking at it, she was like ooh, that's not good. Because it wasn't. That was not good. Luckily, they did also have fruit and granola that they gave us all, and that was really good. So I just had some fruit and granola for breakfast, and I ate enough of the pancake to where I wasn't going to be starving throughout the day. But I was like, wow, these were like I've never had such terrible meals back to back. Like, that was crazy. But that was definitely the worst of everything that I have eaten here. And that was far away, and I'm never going back. So, so that was an interesting experience. The trip as a whole, like, was pretty fun. Like, the stuff that was planned by the school was not, like, we were supposed to have this trip so that we could learn more about our interests, or like our tracks. My track is health, but not me and neither of the other two girls that are also in the health track want to like work in a hospital. Like I'm interested more like nutrition, dietetics. They're interested in food insecurity, and we're all interested in like the prevention of like health problems, I guess. And we visited 3 different hospitals. None of us want to work in a hospital, and they just kind of like told us about like their methods and like their clinic and stuff, and so it really wasn't interesting for any of us, and that was kind of a bummer. But the rest of the trip was fun. Yeah, the rest of the trip was a good time. But yeah, I just wanted to give a food update for the food in Ecuador. Overall, I'm having a good time. There's definitely ebbs and flows. I've definitely learned a lot that I am not quite as flexible as I thought I was. I like to stick to a schedule. That's also another thing, just like with the school itself, is that they are very much disorganized and do not stick to the schedule, which I don't know if, I think only for a certain extent you can say like, oh, it's just the culture that like they're a little more laid back. Like this is not it. I think they just don't have their shit together at the school. And so like that's just been a constant problem and thing that has been irking me. But overall, I am enjoying my time. But that being said, I am really excited to move to a place different than Quito, because even though the city is pretty, we're staying in a part where like there's not much to do and it's more just like smoggy. And where I'm moving to next is very much nature, and I am very much a nature girly. So yeah, I'm excited, and this was just kind of a long talk, but I hope you enjoyed. If you made it to the end, thank you so much. Yeah, like, subscribe if you want, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.